Three tips on how I was able to be active during pregnancy. I am currently 41 weeks and 2 days overdue, so I could, he's getting an eviction notice, okay? But this has really made me reflect over the past few months and the last um about like how everything has been going. And initially what I wanted was, I had two goals in mind. My first goal was to stay be not to stay. My first goal was that I really wanted to maintain my fitness and my muscles and just like conserve the amount of strength and muscles that I have attained over the years. And the second one was to not gain an excessive amount of weight. I knew I was going to gain weight and I was very open to that. But those were the top two goals that I had for myself as I navigated my pregnancy. Just a quick disclaimer, of course, please talk to your doctor. And I made sure I talked to my doctor every time I went. And I kept telling them that I was still working out. And overall, they were really, really good about telling me that everything looked good, everything, they used perfect a lot, which I really appreciated. And overall, I just be very, very open with your doctor about if you are starting a new physical activity or you have already started a physical activity prior to pregnancy, like myself. Just tip into being active and just trying to stay overall healthy with my two goals has been to really redefine what activity means for me. I feel like I knew that I was going to get tired and my belly obviously was going to grow, and it did. I was really just hoping that I could um still stay active in some way, and I really had to redefine movement in every trimester, because my first trimester I was able to keep my physical activity pretty on par. And then it just kind of dwindled as I continued to get bigger and more not bigger, but like as I began to grow my little human, and my belly got in the way, where instead of working out every morning at like 5 o'clock, I only worked out during the weekends and only did strength training during the weekends. And I think at a certain point um in those 9 months, I also stopped running, and I had to be okay with that. So, really just redefining, okay, I can't be at 1,000% right now, which is fine. But what are ways that I could um, incorporate activity and movement throughout my day without it having to be rigorous? And one of the things I did was I also just stayed active and put on my watch, put on like the other option on my watch, and cleaned and mopped and broom, like swept and broom and used, not broomed, what am I talking about, but like, like swept, and just try to keep active, try to keep those steps up when I didn't have like a full on workout. And so I think that really helped, is like really redefining movement, being okay with where I was at, and just really trying my best. The second tip is really not falling into, and I tried really, really hard to not fall into the eating for two. Of course, I have a little bit of knowledge of what I must do in order to be just overall healthy. And I'm not perfect. One of my downfalls is sugar. And I try to consume that as minimally as possible. I mean, I'm human, but really just not really changing a lot of my eating structure, I guess, or eating meals. And so I just was really in tune with my body, making sure that I did have light snacks and not overconsume. I think, like I said, I knew that I didn't want to overgain weight. Like, I knew there is a range of, like, you're supposed to be able to gain about 25 to 30 pounds, give or take, right? And so I was very much like, okay, I can do that. I have, and I feel pretty good. I'm not gonna say that I'm not looking forward to like a quote unquote bounce. I never wanna, I haven't felt like I needed to like, that I'm going on this purge, or that I'm gonna, obviously, like after I have my baby, I'm gonna try to ease into it, but really just like having that control, I not yes, having that control has really been helpful in like my mental clarity, but also just like my physical, because I wasn't losing mobility. I wasn't losing a lot of like, because your body is already like doing its own thing, and you will notice certain changes, like, but I was still at the core still feeling like in control, if that makes any sense. And I'll stop rambling. So, and the third tip, or the third thing I did, was really just prepare mentally. I think the more that I learned about breathing, relaxing, I have a couple of books that I read throughout, audiobooks that I will link down below. Expect What to Expecting is one, How to Eat During Pregnancy, and there's another one like Angela Maya's, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but birthing something. So just like trying to educate myself, like trying to ensure that I'm not only obviously taking care of my physical body, but my mental state was really, really important. And I wanted to ensure that I'm really away from home. My mom's really away from me right now, and I honestly didn't expect to be so far away from her and my family, and I'm not going to cry. But just trying to like find resources online or through books that really help me prepare mentally, and to listen to my body, to be able to rest and recover and learn how to breathe and learn how to like essentially like prepare for birth as well. Those books have really been helpful, and I hope that these tips really do help and really encourage you to, still obviously still stay active, still be mindful, and still be learning about like what your body is capable of doing, even during these times where you're also growing another human in another life. And either way, the message is take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.